Hey everyone, this is Vishak here, and welcome to this chapter. And we're going to be talking about your career. Okay, so I am sure that you must be excited about this because I'm going to give you some of the powerful stuff that you could use and that would potentially like change your life for the better. Okay, so yeah, so we're going to be going deep into the topic called work and what are the things that you can actually do to skyrocket and make a paradigm shift in your everyday operations. All right, so let's dive right in. Okay, now the way that you view your work, right, this is going to change by the end of this video, and I'm sure about that. So my concept, my way of thinking, and this is my message to you is regardless of what you do, okay, if you're an entrepreneur, you got your own thing going on, well, in a way that is your baby, right? You gotta take care of it. You have to nurture it, you have to nourish it, and you have to give your everything. All right, if you're a businessman, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a working professional, regardless of whatever the company that you work for. So the thing is, the competition is heavy, be it entrepreneurship, be it business, be it working corporate, like doesn't matter. Okay, so in such a fast changing world, in such a high competitive environment, if you are doing what everybody are doing, then you will probably be forgotten and you will probably be lost, which you don't want it, right? Because I'll tell you what everybody doing. Okay, see, the thing is anybody can develop a skill and everybody are developing skills just to keep up with the world and everything. But still there are certain things that is not really pushing them to do things to the next level. And that's what we're going to be discussing over here. Okay. So there are a lot of elements that are playing when it comes to your success. Okay. A lot of elements. It's not just about, doing good with whatever you're doing, or doing it in the best possible way, or things like that. Those are just the basics. But there are some people go to such a big extent, and I'm going to be talking about that one in other chapters as well, like biohacking and biochemistry and all that. Okay, I'm talking about like Silicon Valley shit. Okay, so this is some really deep and effective and powerful stuff if you take notes and if you start implementing it in your regular like daily life. Okay, so let's get started. Now I want to ask you a few questions, and the first question is, how well are you doing in your career? Now I'll tell you what, most people, like I said, most people have a job. And now if you're not really liking what you're doing, the obvious answer will be, I don't know, right? Like, I don't know, like it's just not too good, not that great. It's just always on the negative side, right? If you're dreading, like for me, for example, when I used to work in a corporate, I used to dread every single day, especially the Mondays. I used to just dread so much just to even go to the work. I'm like, oh my God, I can't do this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. That is pretty much my regular setting. And if that was the case, can you tell me, like, every day, if you just don't like what you're doing, you don't like the place that you're going, and if that is the case, are you really going to succeed in that? Are you going to be like the best of the best in that? No, the answer is no, right? No matter how much you try, you can't, right? So the thing is, just answer this question, like, how well are you doing in your career, like right now in this moment of your life? How well are you doing on a scale of 1 to 10? 7 is not allowed. Okay, 7 is not allowed. On a scale of 1 to 10, how well are you doing in your career? 1 being okay or probably poor, and 10 being the best. I'm the best in the world. That's 10. I hope you have a score now, right? Okay, now keep that score. Okay, now you got to improve. Either you got to change your career, or you got to, you know, try, learn, and get good at it with the score that you have in front of you. Okay, so I want to give you a different perspective. Now, see, the thing is, there are some people who are always like constantly stressed, like all day. like stress, physical stress, mental stress, emotional stress. Okay, constantly. Like if you're one of that person, then you might want to pay a little closer attention to this. Okay, and there are some people who feel sad all day, like who are sad, like constantly they're sad, depressed or sad. It's pretty hard to take the mind off. Something is always constantly bothering them. Okay, so, well, this is not one of them. All right, if you just take a look at his closer look at his face, right, that shows a sense of accomplishment. Like, can you see that achievement in the eyes? For those who don't know, this is Mr. Elon Musk, right? He's a founder of, right from PayPal. He was the founder of PayPal, and right now he is SpaceX, Neural Tesla, Boring Company, and the last one is Twitter. I think is the last one, but yeah, Twitter. So, um, so what I'm saying is, like, you cannot pay too much attention on your feelings. Like, please write this down. I don't want to, or I don't pay attention to my feelings. Like, it doesn't really matter how you feel on everyday basis. Like, I don't feel like going to work. I don't feel like doing this. I don't feel like doing that. And I'll tell you what, this video is especially for those who are not really performing great in your career, okay, or in your office. Like, you're not able to do it for some reason, something that is holding you back, something that is like taking a big hit on your confidence. All right. So I want to tell you, like, I want, like, for you to perform the best in your career, to be really good at whatever you're doing. Okay. You cannot afford to be stressed, or, like, just imagine this person is on the air, like literally on the air. Okay. I mean, just take a look at all the people out there who are watching Michael Jordan. Like, they're watching him, right? Everybody's eyes are on him, and he's in the air. You see what I'm saying? You cannot afford to be stressed or, sad about, I don't feel like this, I don't feel that, I don't feel like this. He told me like that. She told me like this. There is no mercy when it comes to hardcore performance. There's no mercy. Like, I feel a little tired, I didn't sleep properly last night, I was drinking all night long. And no, over here, only excellence paves the way for greatness. Okay, so you need to find your vocation. So in my coaching, I have a clear path to how, as to how you can find your vocation. Vocation is nothing but gotta find something that you can do for the rest of your life, so that you don't have to completely dependent only on your job. You don't have to live under somebody else's mercy. Okay. So anyway, coming back to the subject. So if you have any of these emotions on an everyday basis, okay, I'm talking about everyday basis, or probably most of the time in any day basis. Okay, stress, fear, anxiety, self-doubt, negative thinking, overthinking, all these are negative consciousness. Okay, negative emotions in the levels of human consciousness. Okay, so the opposite to all of this is the acceptance, the neutrality, the courage. uh, I don't know, courage, happiness, joy, and all that. These are the higher levels in the scale of human consciousness, and these are the low levels. So what I have seen is, like, most people who are going to work are experiencing these are the most, like, these are the most emotions that they face. So what, like, how can you just, be there, do that for a very very long time, right? How can someone do that for a very very long time? And even if they are doing it, like, what are the repercussions of it, right? What are the results of it? And it's pretty devastating if you see. Now, when you are working from that space, there is clearly a lack of performance, right, in your work. Like, I can guarantee that whatever you're doing, you are not able to perform 100%. And like I said, there are several aspects to it. There are several aspects that is influencing or impacting your performance, but definitely there is like, because of one thing is like you're not really liking what you're doing, or the people around you, or the environment, or your body, or your mindset, or the thing that you have, like, I don't know, like you have eaten something and that is not letting you work. A lot of factors, okay? But at the end of the day there are certain things that is not helping you perform better. And if you're not able to perform better, that is going to be picked up by people, and that is going to reflect on your salary, and that's going to reflect on your bank account, and that's going to reflect on your happiness, and that's going to reflect on your family's happiness. You see what I'm saying? So everything is connected. So that is why I'm saying you might want to pay a little attention to what I'm saying. Okay, so you have the lack of performance, and due to which you have lesser and lesser promotions. Is not just about you. That's how the global economy works. That's how the global markets work. And you are, by far, you are working, of course you're working in a competitive environment. Okay, and I this is something that is like really fascinated me when I was doing the research. Like 71% of people are disengaged at their job, like 71%. Okay, 71%. And 51%, I think I have mentioned this already, like 51% of people are not really having the self-confidence. I think this was about 7,000 people survey. The survey was taken for like with 7,000 people, and 51% of people are not having the self-confidence at work. Okay, so if you're really not engaged in your job, and if you do not have the self-confidence, how can you possibly excel in your work? In other words, how can you be like excelling in your life? It's pretty hard. Do you understand where I'm coming from, right? So if this is pattern that is being carried out for a while, like you have less options inside the company and outside your company, right? So these are the potential and the devastating results that one might face if they're not really happy about what they're doing, or happy with what they're doing, or you know like doing the same thing for a very long time and not really progressing anywhere and not really going anywhere. And that is why you see somebody else who's just joined, and I'm here doing the same thing for over 10 years, and there's somebody who just came in who's already getting promotion they're above me, right? That's not a good space to be in. So these are the results, and you see how everything is connected. So there are certain questions that you should ask yourself, and this is predominantly for those who are actually working, like a corporate or IT professional, like who's working. Okay, even the bank or anybody who's like a working professional. Okay, so questions that you should ask yourself, and you have to rate like yourself and the situation from 1 to 10. Okay, and one is the least and 10 is the max. Just keep it that way. All right, one is the least and one is the max, and I want you to really write it, no, not just thinking about what is in your mind, like not just thinking about it, but write it down on a piece of paper. I want you to write all of this down. Now pause your I will read out each and every question, so meanwhile I want you to write this down. Okay, so first question is, what is the level of your respect at your workplace? How everybody is respecting you? First of all, this question has two questions inside of it. One is like your respect and the others respect. The way that you respect yourself is exactly how others will respect you. That's exactly how it is. If you see yourself as weak, if you see yourself as powerless, and if you see yourself as, I don't like however you're seeing, that's exactly how the world will see you. Okay, so what is the level of respect that you have at your workplace on a scale of 1 to 10? Okay, on all of these questions, number 7 is not allowed. Number 7 is more of like an optimal range, and it's easy to get away with it. Okay, so it's just to be it's more like a safe number. So you don't want to play safe. We are not playing safe here. Okay, we are making progress in your life. All right, so what is the level of respect at your workplace? Number 2, if the management is actually talking about a promotion, all right, mid-level, high-level management, anybody who's actually talking about a promotion in your team, would they or anyone in them think about you, right? One is least they won't even think about me, and 10 is like, I know I'm I they are I know they are thinking for my role, or I know they're planning for my role. So you get the point. Okay. Number three, are you standing different in your entire team? That's from your entire team. Okay. Are you standing different from your entire team? So if you are going to be just another somebody, okay, if you're going to be just another somebody in your team, well, that's exactly how everybody's perceiving you. You're just another somebody. So you already know the answer to that question. So are you standing different? Like, no, you know what? He is different from the rest of them. He's a little like he's not normal. He's not a regular person. You know what I'm saying? He's a little different. He's always above. He's I don't know, he learns well, or he I don't know, he's not the majority. You you get the point. Okay. So are you standing different from your entire team? Now, are you looking different from your entire team? Looking, when I say looking, it's literally looking, the appearance, not the dressing. Dressing comes next. Like that's the fifth question. But looking different. Are you looking different? Do you have any accessories? Anything that makes you a little different than the rest of them? Okay. Because no, people don't want to see the normal thing. People don't want to be with normal people. People don't want to be with the normal, regular, everyday people. Like it's normal, it's common, it's boring. Like you don't want to be boring. You don't want to be boring internally and externally, mentally and physically. Okay. You don't want to be boring. So are you looking a little different from your entire team? Are you dressing a little different from your entire team? Okay. Are you speaking during the meetings? Like, okay, now if you are in leadership, obviously you've got to speak. But if you're not, like, are you speaking? Are you making the difference? Are you making a mark? Are you doing things to make people remember you? Right? So are you speaking on a scale of 1 to 10, where 7 is not allowed? How much are you speaking? Not how much, but how many times in meetings are you speaking? Right? Seventh one is, are you confident while speaking with your boss? In front of people or alone? Like, are you confident? Are you bold and are you confident? Or are you slouching your shoulders and, like talking on top of your nose, talking with your nose? Okay. Number eight is relationship with people. What is the quality of the relationship with your people in your team and other teams? It's not teams, it's teams. Please excuse me for that. All right. So what is the quality of the relationship? Are you having a great relationship with people in your team and other teams? How well are people seeing you? Right. Number nine, are you forming groupism or are you being neutral with all teams? Well, that question is actually, that's not the way how it goes. Yeah. So are you forming groupism? That is nothing but, you see, we all have our favorites and we all love to go for breakfast or smoke break or whatever with our favorite people. It's okay and there's nothing wrong with that, but the thing is, like, you are not going to understand a lot of people when you do that. Okay. Let's say, of course, everybody has their own groups and stuff, right? If you are going to do this, you will be the only person who's going to do this. All right. So I'm not asking you to drastically change, but today you go with your group for lunch, tomorrow go with somebody else, and initially it's going to be a little unwelcome for you, but just communicate with somebody, and that's how you form a personal relationship with everybody. And if you're going to do that, you're going to know pretty much everything that's happening in your team or with other team, and you're going to have a great relationship with people and things. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is, are you forming groupism right now? Like, do you have one single group and you're just going along with them? And when you go with them, all you're doing is like bitching and moaning about what people do and what bosses do and what others do. Okay, but you don't want to do that. Again, all these reveals the quality of you. Okay. Last question is, are you taking enough initiatives in your team? Like, are you the person who's making changes in your team? Like, if people are doing like something different, they feel a little pinch due to uncomfortable things. Like, you you implement something and everybody else are doing it. That means when they are doing it, good or bad, I mean, obviously it's uncomfortable, but when they're doing that uncomfortable thing, they're going to be thinking about you. So just imagine the level of impact they are going to make upon your name. Very important if you want to get that recognition. Okay. So on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 questions, if you have scored like 100, you're like pretty awesome. Okay. But yeah, you're going to be pretty good at what you're doing. Anyway, the ninth question is like, are you neutral with groupism? It's not like forming a groupism, but you're neutral. You're here, you're there, you're there, you're there, you're pretty much everywhere. You're forming a great relationship. Well, that's what the question means. Anyway, so 10 questions on a scale of 1 to 10, where the sevens are not allowed. So just see where you're falling into. Keep the seven as a medium marker. Okay, keep the seven as a medium marker, and you're not going to use a seven because that's a borderline. And below the seven, below seven, like below six or below six, and eight or above eight. That's the thing. And how well have you scored? Like if you are above eight or above eight, in more than 5 to 6 questions, right? uh, you're doing good. You're doing like really good, and growth can happen faster. Okay. And if you are like seven or above, below seven in like 6 to 7 questions, more than 7 questions, then we've got work to do. And you see, I don't even have to tell you anything. Like, you know what exactly you have to do. All right. So that's with the personality exercise with when it comes to your workplace career. Now, like I said, this is applicable only for those who are actually working in an environment like a corporate or a IT, or I don't know, like any in working environment. Cool. Now, achieving a goal. How do you actually achieve a goal in your work, in your workspace? Like, this is specifically not for entrepreneurs, or I mean, you could be an entrepreneur, but what I'm saying is, like, if you're working alone, like all by yourself, then this might not be applicable for you, but you can still watch it. So this specifically designed for those who are actually working, like working professionals, working men, especially. Okay. So how do you achieve your goal? Now, what I want you to do is, first and foremost, personality is a ground rule. Okay, I want you to take a good look at yourself, not in the mirror, my friend, but mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially. I want you to take a good look. I want you to have a real understanding about yourself. Like, what is the decision making process? What is the communication levels? What is your learning skills? Like, what is your, like, there are a lot of elements. Like, you need to have a good understanding about yourself. If you have that, you have pretty much won like half of the battle, not in only in your job, but in your life. Okay, so you can get to that level. So understanding you is like core importance, and that's why you need to go through that personality transformation to actually score on a higher scale, like pretty much all of the scores on a higher scale. Okay, so understanding you is like really important. Number two is understanding your competition. So even if you're a businessman or an entrepreneur, or wherever you're working, even if you're working in a small, I don't know, anywhere, doesn't matter, you will always have a competition. You will always have a competition. And for you to take down your competition, right, you have to have the next level thinking, next level performance. And if you can do that, it's easy for you to take down the competition. Okay, so let me just give you a quick story about this one. So back then, when I was actually working in the corporate, I well, I actually had a back injury. Okay, due to my workouts, I had a back injury, and it was pretty bad. I hit my lower back, and I was not able to work out for over a year, and I was bedridden for about 3 months. Very, very bad. Completely like a vegetable, useless like a vegetable. And I just got back after 3 months of bedridden situation. I got back to work, and I was like, all right, let me start working and things like that. Okay, so I fell into depression. It was pretty scene was pretty bad. Two doctors told me that I would never be able to work out, and all of that kind of stuff. And at that point, there was a contest, there was a competition like in my work. So the basically that I was working for is Australian New Zealand Banking Group Limited. It is situated in Bangalore. So I was working there, and the company, the campus is basically about 3,500 people, like 3,500 people. That's the strength of that particular campus. And there was a competition, there's some contest or something going on, and it's like a festival, like it goes on for like a month or something. So what they basically do is they take all teams, they divide the all teams by the verticals and departments, and they take like 1 or 2 or whatever, based on several games that they have. I think it's 1 month or 2 months, something like that. it keeps on running different competitions, right? So one is like you got to wear certain types of dress, and there was a fashion show, there was a push-up contest, and there was this decoration of the bay at your work and all of that. Okay. And they asked me to go because I was the only person that I was working out, and they asked me to go for a push-up competition. Pretty much everyone knew that I would not be able to work out because I had a back injury, and the doctors told me that I would never be able to work out. So they told me I have to work out. I mean, I have to go to the push-up competition, and I have like 12 people, like from 12 different teams. It was pretty scary because like they gave me very less time. I think they gave me about 2 or 3 weeks to practice or whatnot. So what I did was understanding me was pretty easy because I had a back injury, very simple, and I won't be able to work out. So how can I beat the competition? Right? I mean, so what I did was I didn't study the competition. All right. So what I'm saying over here is pretty much counterintuitive, but I would push it to the max, like push it to the peak. So what I did was I studied the best in the world at push-ups. All right. I mean, I know for the fact that somebody from this Bangalore campus cannot even compete someone at the world level. So if I can at least keep that as a target, then these guys are like, taking the cake from a kid, right? So I'd not even assess or I'd not even study who is coming and who is doing the push-ups along with me. It doesn't really matter. Like I didn't really care because I want to compete at least with the person. Like so I researched and I googled who did the maximum push-ups in the world, what was the Guinness record, and I think it was in some 3 digits or 4 digits. Pretty out of control. But I practiced it every single day to hit that mark. And the actual competition day, I was, like I started pushing up. Everybody were there, started the push-ups. But the thing is, I was just getting warmed up, and people were like, everybody were gone, like one, two, three, four, five. Like last one person was there by the end of 60 push-ups or something, and he lost it. And I'm like, dude, come on, give it. Like, I'm just getting started. I can keep going. I can keep going. And it was just 60. 60 was my warm up. So you get the point, right? So if you're going to keep, like, that's the standard that you have to set yourself. And if you want to achieve a goal, a specified goal, like a promotion or a recognition or anything, you have to set like a higher standard, like a little higher standard. Just see who is like performer and highest performer or something, and then keep like twice the standard of that particular person or something like that. Okay. That is how you study the competition. The third one is understanding the settings and the dynamics. Now that one is very, very serious because when you're working, and like I said, this is specifically for under the setting of office, like you're going to an office, and how do you achieve a goal over there, right? Personal goal, I mean, professional goal. So understanding the settings and dynamics is very important because see, every company's culture is very different. Every company's culture is very much different from each other. So there are in every company there are two ways to grow. One is like there are three ways to grow. One is being insanely good at what you do. You can grow in that way, but in that way, growth is a little slow. Number two is you have to be like insanely good with people. Okay, if you're good with people, and you must have seen a lot of people, right? They just grow, they don't work, but they just grow. That means they're good with people. And number three is probably the best one, being good at what you do and being good with people. But there are very few people with that kind of a personality. Okay. So either you have to be good at what you do, or you have to be good with people, or you have to be good at both. Okay. So some companies work like really good just by giving the recognition for people who are good at what they do. But there are some companies like you must have seen, like, oh, you know what, this guy is like that with the manager, that girl is like this with the manager, and that's why they are growing, and that's why they are probably, you're right. I mean, that's why they are growing, but they are growing. That's the truth, right? So they are achieving the goal, they are achieving their promotion, they are achieving whatever they want. Now you can either sit and complain, or you do whatever it takes to grow, and that's it. Nobody cares about what you do, but pretty much people care about where you are. All right. At least you need to care about where you are. So you need to understand the culture, the settings, the dynamics of the company, and you know and then move your coins. Okay, that is the first step, understanding the personality, your personality, competition personality, and the setting and the dynamics of the workplace. The second one is the biochemistry. That's including the neurochemicals. And I will tell you, don't let that title scare you. Don't let that point scare you. So basically, biochemistry is nothing but there are some people who can sit and really work. And this is like heavy on the variable, but I'm gonna go little dense on the science. But just stick with me. It's easy to understand though. Okay. So you need to what you need to understand is like not okay. So if you're not achieving a goal, it is not just because you don't feel like working or you didn't work. Like of course you didn't work, but what was the reason for that? Okay, and I have done enough studies. Like people's personality plays a very huge role when it comes to earning money or being good at relationship. But there are certain things that are also influencing a personality or a person not to take action. Okay, that is the environment and the biochemistry. So let me just stick with the biochemistry at this moment. Let me give you an example. All right. Now you are looking for a promotion. It's a very typical scenario. You're looking for a promotion. So obviously you've got to work a little harder, right? So for you to work a little harder or work a little extra, what you need is like a little bit of more resistance in your mind. Like you got to go push a little harder, right? So if you eat more, or if you eat any unhealthy food, or if you eat the food that is not okay with your body, with your system, you feel little tired, and you don't, you know what, I think I'll do it tomorrow, and that's it. So on that day is gone and you will do it tomorrow. So you're thinking that you will do it tomorrow. Tomorrow something else come in, something else, disrupt the pattern, and just say, you know what, anyway this week is gone, so let me just take a chill on weekends, and I will start with a bang on Monday. All right. So pattern this creates pattern, and this pattern goes on for a long time, and then one day you will realize, you know what, oh my god, nothing really happened. And whom are you to blame? Like whom are you going to blame? Right. And that includes in neurochemicals too. That means like continuous stress hormones also can, you know um also can cloud your judgment, cloud your thinking, which you don't want it. And see, the thing is, if you are able to form that neural pattern in your brain by taking an action or feeling good about that, and then taking another action feeling good about that, and then taking another action feeling good about that, this creates a pattern. And this pattern has a spiraling effect, and it just goes on like a snowball. Like snow goes on like a snowball, right? That's poetic. But anyway, you get the point, right? Snowball is what is snowball? Like it creates like a small snow, and it just like rolls, not with much speed or whatever, but as it goes further down the block, further down the mountain or the distance, what happens? The block gets bigger and bigger and bigger, right? And then it forms a giant snowball, and that's how the it gains the momentum, it gains the pace, it gains like it goes down so fast, right? You see the power of that snowball, right? That is how it is. Like even if you just take one small action, make sure and promise yourself that is actually building the momentum for tomorrow. It is building the momentum for tomorrow. All right. So you're literally changing the patterns in the neural connections in your mind, like in your brain, that this is like okay, you're literally, not literally, but yeah, you're getting high on the taking action, high on taking action. All right. So your biochemistry and the neurochemistry. Cool. The third one is the relationships. Relationships meaning the relationships that you have with yourself. The first one, if you are a person who is constantly hating on the self, like if you don't really like, or if you don't have the self respect, remember I spoke about the personality, like how you see yourself is how the world sees you, something like that, right? So if you do not have that kind of a great relationship with yourself, then I think you should start taking a good care of that, like really good care of that. All right. And you need to maintain a great relationship with yourself. How do you do this? You always have two minds, two voices in your head. Like one is like okay, do it, and another one is like don't do it, right? That's what I'm talking about. So we all have the light side and the dark side, and we need to get into an agreement saying that dark side is not good for me, light side is good for me, let me stick with the good ones, and I will do whatever it takes. All right. And then when you have that, like that is where you get to the ultimate happiness. You don't really need anybody or anything to make you happy. You are in the present moment. You're not in the future. You're not in the past. You're not lost. You're not in the limbo. Okay. And that is when you feel more contained, and that is how you emit that energy. Like, can you like, have you seen some of the people, right, when they just walk into the room, the whole room lights up. Like, there is something about them. Like, go and watch interviews, and not the interviews, I mean, go and watch the walking style of people like Tom Cruise or Obama, Oprah Winfrey. When they just walk into the room, there's something about them. Marilyn Monroe, right? They just walk and everybody's like, you know what I'm saying, right? They just open the mouth and open the eyes, and they just lost, like, looking at them. That's called as a presence. That is how people feel when they are with you. Okay, people want to know you, people want to be with you, people want to get to know you, people want to understand you, people study about you. So that's like the relationship. The first is like the relationship that you have with yourself, and next is the relationship that you have with others. Okay, that's the third one. The fourth one is the energy that you emit. Okay, so CEM is nothing but the core energy management. So if you're able to tap into your core energy management, that is nothing like that. Okay, it's so, like, how do I say it? It's so powerful, and it's pretty hard for me to explain it in this video. That is why I do this coaching, like, privately, because what I see is, like, most people, we spoke about the fight or flight mode, right? Fight or flight response, like that. So if you are in that mode, it's pretty hard for you to naturally get that energy out. Like, it's hard because you're fighting every single day. You're just fighting to come to office. You're fighting to, get through the day. I just want somehow to get day. I just want somehow the day to be over so that I can go home, right? Like that. So it's pretty hard to actually tap into your core energy. And there are certain specifications and things that you can do, like reading affirmations. Like, you want to be powerful, you want to be centralized, you want to be, like, you want to outgrow people, you want to have that ferociousness, you want to be powerful. Like, there are so many things that's why I have actually added the reading affirmation. Like, all you got to do is just download the affirmations below this video, and put it on your phone, and make sure that every day, every morning when you wake up, you read that affirmation, so that it's going to give you a lot of, you know um positive energy towards you, and you are going to get into the flow state, like, with an ease. All right. And the fifth one is intrinsic motivation. So why do you think this is important? Now, we all look for motivation. You look for motivation every single day when you want to get fit, when you want to look for a woman, to get married, or when you want to, you don't feel like doing anything, but then one time you just all like, you know what, I have to do something. And then you just get motivated and you just do it. Well, that kind of a motivation is on the surface level. And there's nothing pretty much you're going to achieve with that level of motivation. But I'm going to teach you something more powerful. All right. So, when you want to achieve a goal, first off, I want you to clearly define the goal. What exactly you want? What is it that you want to achieve? And by when is it that you want to achieve? You have to put that in paper, all right, with the timeline. Now, when you have that, most people will stop with that. But the only thing is, like, I want you to go one step further ahead. One step further ahead. What is it? I want you to clearly define, why do you want to do that? Now, that's what important. When you really have a clear cut understanding as to why I want this goal, like, I want this promotion, I want this business, I want to start a business, I want to follow my passion, I want to pursue my interest, or whatever it is, right? Why do you want to do this? Why do you want to do this, right? For me, my thing was, like, I wanted to make a positive impact on the world. But is that the reason why I wanted to? No, that's not the reason why I did this. I started right now. That's my core motivation. I want to help people who are in my situation. I want to help you, show them who you really are. Let me repeat that again. Okay. I want to help you, show them who you really are. Now, who is them? You already know who is them. All right. Who are they? Me, like, back in the days, I didn't have good health, and I didn't have a great relationship. I did not even have a relationship. I was single. and I was broke. I didn't have any money. And at that point, nobody was with me, and everybody was living their life. They were living their life. Okay, everybody was building a house, buying a car, getting married, and having babies. And I'm over here watching social media and watching YouTube and whatnot. Okay, so today I'm above all them. Like, my journey is like faster than most of people whom I know, and I want to give this level of personal power to people. So this is my reason. Like, honestly speaking, I want to excel in all of these areas. So I want to earn money, good amount of money, and I want to get a partner. I'm not really big on marriage, but okay, so I want to get the partner, and I want to look the best, like the best. Okay, because there's only one life, and we're going to go one day. So why not live with the best? And that's why I did that. Okay, and today I want to give you that level of power. So you need that level of motivation. One thing, what is it? One thing that you really want to, why is that one thing that you really want to achieve this goal? Right. So I want to define this. So I want to get a promotion, or I want to start a business, or I want to, get fit, whatever the reason it is. Because of this, I want to take my mother out. I want to buy my wife a diamond ring. I want to buy my family a house. I don't know, like anything. You need that intrinsic motivation, not the YouTube motivational video. That's not what I'm saying. That is not the game we are playing. Those are mediocre. That is for normal people. You don't want to be normal. You don't want to be normal, my friend. All right. Let's take this whole thing to the next level. Let's completely transform your personality. All right. So with that, we've come to the end, and that is how we're going to take the approach towards your career. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.